Joseph Robinette Biden has officially dropped out of the race and, as I told you he would, endorsed Kamala Harris.
We're in the middle of our second shoot right now, and Joe Biden has officially chosen to drop out. So I am going to be rushing home, and I'll be live in approximately 30 minutes. I knew this was going to happen.
Campaign is canceled. I need some time to relax and bounce on. I'll announce Kamala when I feel like it. Whoo! Remember when I fucking told you guys? I said this is the most boring election cycle, but overnight it has the capacity to become the most interesting election cycle. We're there! We're officially there! This is now officially become a historic run. It went from a fucking rerun between a cadaver and a convict. Both people that Americans were tired of on both sides. Regardless of policy, people were just like on vibes alone. They were like, bro, I don't fucking care about this. I don't want to fucking dial into this. I don't give a shit about this at all. And then overnight, guys, 7 days ago, Donald Trump, 45th president of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, got shot in the ear at a Butler, Pennsylvania rally. That was 7 days ago. It feels like 8 lifetimes ago. That shit happened only 7 days ago. Think about that. The writers woke the fuck up. They thought, you know what? We gave the NBA a goddamn dud. It's because they were writing the script for this shit, dude. They literally gave nothing to the NBA final script, so they gave it all to the fucking election cycle. As my main man, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin likes to say, there are decades where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen. We are in the week where decades are happening. We are now officially in that week. We were in that week last week. We're in that week this week. It hasn't stopped being the week.
President Biden and the campaign running in full force until the moment that he wasn't. You know, there's no real way for you to run for president 50%. There's no way for you to sort of half be a candidate.
No,
and I think that is sort of what
you
we
can't
have
do
seen,
this. We can't do this. I cannot look at Rachel Maddow right now. I don't want to see. She's on the brink, big dog. Look at her. Look at her. She's on the brink. Step away from the ledge, Rachel. Don't fucking do it, Rachel. It's okay. Rachel is going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Don't do it.
About how exactly this race is going to unfold in the coming days and weeks. We are obviously in a really unprecedented situation, but it was important for a lot of people in the Democratic Party to hear the words coming straight out of the president's mouth that in his eyes, the person that needs to take the torch from the president, is his deputy, is the person that he chose, is the person who he said could take on the role of the presidency on day one. I was just talking to campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond, and he said there's no question about it. This is an example of President Biden doing the right thing. And he said he was really glad to hear the president coming out to publicly endorse Kamala Harris and that the campaign is going to be behind her, but sort of the machinations of exactly how the campaign is going to sort of transition over to making that sort of the campaign's operation in the coming days. Obviously, all of those things need to get figured out. But look, I think if there was a scenario where the
bro. Immediately, they're switching up the narrative so fast. I told you. Bakari Sellers, Kamala is running against the oldest nominee for president of the United States in American history. I mean, the man is nearly 80 years old. And so the question is, can he serve another 4 years? I'm not sure he can. Now, every single one of these indecent motherfuckers straight up were like, Joe's not old. How dare you say that? Every single one. What did I tell you? I told you there's no fucking Biden or buses this goddamn party. They're all just fucking ruthless machine politicians with bad fucking instincts. It didn't even take 30 seconds for these motherfuckers to switch up. They were trying to fucking gaslight us. Oh, Joe Biden is not going to drop out. You're out of your mind. He's actually sharp as a tack, okay? He's actually sharp as a tack. The moment that they fucking switch it up, what did I tell you? You think Harry Hasan is going to be out there? He's going to be out there being like, yeah, actually, I'm a Biden dead ender. Sorry, Biden or bust for me. I wanted a candidate that's like 800 years old, you know? Kamala's too young, too vibrant. You think that's what they were going to say? There were people in this community that were trying to tell me, Hasan, Biden is actually really popular in certain demographics, and that the media or certain aspects of the Democratic Party are really riding with Biden. Like, no, they're not. They're just careerist pieces of shit who did not make the right calculation, okay? Vindication after vindication. Put some respect on it. 2024 is the year of HasanAbi vindication so far. But I can't be the only one who's a Biden dead ender. I lied this entire time. I must reluctantly tell you that I will not be voting for Kamala Harris because I was riding with Biden. I'm the only one in America, in the United States of America, that was actually like, I need the 800-year-old carcass. I need him. I need him in my veins. I need him. Just kidding. Of course not, because I'm not a fucking idiot. All right, let's see what Bakari Sellers, who was selling us the idea that Joe Biden is fine not that long ago, what is he saying now?
Getting them, whipping them up, trying to get them on board for Kamala Harris. I don't think that's going to be a difficult task. And anything else, the vice president.
Where's Jamie Harrison? Where's Jamie Harrison? Bring him to me now. What happened? I don't want Bakari. I want Jamie. I want to see his piece of shit. I want to see that piece of shit on television on the front lines going, yeah, everything I lied about for the past like 6 months is actually, I was just lying. What are we doing? We put a motherfucker who does not know anything about campaigning, who got absolutely bodied by Lindsey Graham, who is one of the least popular politicians in Congress. Jamie Harrison dumped $100 million into that race, got fucking cumstered, and then what did the Democratic Party do? The Democratic Party went, you know what, Jamie? You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. You lost gracefully, so you should lead the DNC. Oh my God. And what did Jamie Harrison do? For those of you who are, just tuning in, and those of you who are wondering what the fuck's going on, Joe Biden has dropped out. But these characters that I'm pointing to right now are the characters within the Democratic Party who just kept telling us a lie. Something that we can see with our own two fucking eyes. I've been saying this since 2019. Since 2019. I said, Joe Biden has lost his fucking step. He is not the Joe Biden that would have won in 2016. He is not the right person for this fucking party. In 2019, I said that obviously I was biased. I'm a Bernie bro. I was a Bernie or buster. I was busting. That was one of the reasons. But there was a very valid reason not to put Joe, because he was going to drop the incumbent advantage come 2024 because he was too fucking old in 2019. People knew he was old in 2019, but the media gaslit us. The media kept telling us, no, this 85-year-old man, this 800-year-old demon, he's perfectly fine. Nothing is wrong. And then 50 million people watched Joe Biden look like all of our collective grandparents, okay? 50 million Americans watched the president of the United States of America basically play the role of grandpa that's unfortunately, lost not only his step, but his mental fucking faculties. And then after that debate where 50 million people watched, 50 million Americans watched Joe Biden fail to demonstrate basic competency for weeks, if not an entire month. I don't even know. My concept of time is so out of whack at this point because, like I said, 7 days ago, Donald Trump was shot, and it feels like a lifetime ago. But I think it was a month ago. For an entire month, we played this song and dance on television with donors where all of the family members of Joe Biden were basically saying, come on, Grandpa, you can't drive no more. We have to take the car keys away from you, Grandpa. We have to. And he stood by and said, fuck no, I'm driving this goddamn car. If you can't drive a vehicle, you can't drive a nuclear submarine as the commander in chief. One. Number two, the only people in Joe Biden's orbit that obviously wanted him to stay in the race was like Hunter fucking Biden and his immediate family members and like 8 people in the Progressive Caucus. That's it. And Joe Scarborough. Never forget. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, Jamie Harrison, the DNC chair, Bakari Sellers, and a couple select few members were the people that were like, no, Joe's good. I'm riding with him. I'm riding with Biden, behaving like Biden dead enders as though he was the best possible choice here. Oh my God. And it was wild. I felt like I was going crazy. Couple years down the line, we are going to look back at this moment and go, remember when the president's like inner circle, Jill Biden, his wife, and his children, one of which is literally a convicted felon and like a person who very famously has more pictures doing crack than sober. Those were the guys who were like, you have to stay in this race, honey. You have to stay in this race. When the entire country was like, what are you doing? 67% of Democratic Party voters were like, we have to swap Joe out. 67%, 70+% of the entire country, 70% of independents. The entire nation was like, what are we doing? So yeah, I will be taking a fucking victory lap on this day and I will not be nice about it. Oh my Lord. You should have known when Hillary Clinton came out like 3-4 days ago. No, Biden should stay in the race. Listen, I get it. You feel like you deserve to be the president. You felt like it was your time in 2016 and you got ritualistically humiliated and refused to learn any lessons from that humiliation. You stuck to it. And now it sucks because there's another woman. There's another woman with a likelihood of possibly winning the presidency, as a matter of fact. And those words are never going to be Madam President Clinton. If it happens, it's going to be Madam President Harris. It's going to be Kamala Harris. And that probably stings you right in the fucking heart. Every time you think about that, you're like, ah! And you deserve it because you're a bad person. Hillary Rodham Clinton, you are a bad person. You brought Donald Trump upon this nation for 4 fucking years. Your incompetence, you and you alone, and all of those in your immediate fucking circle is responsible for Donald Trump. They did the Pied Piper strategy. They propped up Donald Trump. They said Donald Trump would be the best possible person to run against, and Donald Trump defeated you. your instincts were so bad. You're like, Wisconsin, I don't need to go there. Why the fuck would I go there? You know what I mean? Oh, blue wall my ass. And for a moment, I thought this was a rerun, that this election cycle was seemingly a rerun. Bad candidate that many people are not enthusiastic about going up against an unknown entity in 2016, but a known entity now, for better or for worse. But I told you, it was like, this is not a 2020 rerun. This is a 2016 rerun. We have a person who's gripping on when everyone else is reading the fucking room and recognizing that this situation is untenable. This is not good. It's not good at all. That he is going to most likely lose to Donald Trump. No one in this goddamn nation was going, I'm voting for Biden because I like Biden and Biden alone. He is so charismatic. I love his policies. I love his legislative agenda. No one was doing that. That is precisely the reason why Biden was actually getting outcompeted with down ballot candidates. In key states, he has to win. Arizona, Nevada, Georgia even. Like everywhere in the country, Biden was like getting outperformed by like 10 points. Anyway, do you have any guesses for who Harris will choose as her VP? White man. One of the whitest men you can find, okay? One of the whitest, most straight men you can find, okay? Not even like a little gay, not even a little zesty. You can't even have someone like maybe a little zesty. It just has to be like, it's like a rerun. Barack Obama's perfect counter was like a racist, goofy white guy, Joe Biden. Kamala Harris's counter has to be like the driest white boy to ever do it. And I don't mean like Tim Kaine style white guy. I mean like an Andy Beshear or a Mark Kelly, that type of guy. If there's a cop dome, that actually fucking works even better. Mark Kelly does have the cop dome, cop phrenology. JB Pritzker is great, but I don't think that'll be the case. But I do love, I like JB Pritzker. We need a tubby man. We need like a big rotund boy. We need to bring back big boys.